Good morning, and God bless you all in Jesus' mighty name. Sometimes I think about what else to tell you, and sometimes I have an idea what I should talk about, but sometimes I also think it's not my place to talk about certain things because I don't know enough to really have an opinion, a good opinion about certain topics, like certain apologetics and stuff like that. I'm just learning now, so my whole worldview has changed. So, and that within 6 years, no, 6.5 years, and I am still a little bit in a state of confusion. Not that I'm confused, but it's a terrible thing if you have to tell yourself that your whole worldview is false. It cannot be not false. It must be wrong. So you have to really then remove the bad seed at the root and cut out the root of the problem, and that takes a long time. It took me 12 years. And then now I have like about 6.5 years of daily prayer. So a prayer life that makes the whole difference, really. Prayer is so powerful that the second you realize how powerful prayer is, it's not that it works sometimes, it's more like it works every time. So that's how powerful prayer is. When you realize that, or you could also realize that in meditation by visualizing things, and suddenly they happen out of nowhere, and then it happens again and again and again and again and again, and you think, am I in a movie or something? That can't be true. Like, I visualize meeting someone that I haven't met for 15 years, and suddenly there he is. Like 48 hours later, I meet him, literally meet him. And or he contacts me on Facebook. Things like that would happen all the time. Whatever I prayed for, it would happen. It would just happen. And also you have to learn how to pray. Prayer is not a thing of the intellect. It's not about speaking magical words. It's about the intention behind the words. And the only language that the universe understands is pictures, visualizing, and emotions, which is summoning emotions. So these are the only two languages that the universe understands, and if you use that, then suddenly your prayers are heard. And there are people who pray their whole lives and nothing changes ever. So shouldn't you be watching, like Charles H. Spurgeon, The Power of Prayer? He was called the Prince of Preachers. And this man had a golden tongue. It's unbelievable. And he was like from 1855. Most of his stuff is from the middle of the 19th century. So 1855 to 1875, something like that. That's where most his very powerful sermons are. Like The Power of Prayer is Charles Spurgeon. Spurgeon, Spurgeon. He's like Derek Prince is a very good preacher in my opinion, but Charles Spurgeon was literally called the Prince of all preachers. That he was that good. So sometimes I think about what I should talk about, and the only thing that really often comes to mind is what's the conclusio of all these things that I've talked about. What can you do to partake in becoming another person. That was my objective, becoming from person A to person B. I have to do it or I will die. So I had to do that, and I had to find a way. The first thought that I had was MK Ultra. I'm going to brainwash myself, whatever it takes. Which that didn't work, obviously, because I cannot put myself in a coma. So that was not the brightest idea, but I was so hopeless. And so, like, I went through Hinduism. I meditated for at least 3 years. I usually meditated 2 times 45 minutes every day. Every day, I mean Monday to Sunday, irrespective of holidays and so on. So what can you do? The first thing that would come to mind, what you could do is get on a diet of media. Go on a diet of media. Stop reading the papers every day and worrying about the corona crisis. People die every day. 50 million people die every day. Many of them from cancer. You can't do anything about dying. Everybody dies. 10 out of 10 people die. So don't worry about the corona crisis. Worry about how you can grow spiritually. And if you want to believe in whatever, and that's your way to God, then so be it. It's better than having nothing. Because if you're an atheist, as I said already, you are just running in circles all the time and nothing works. So go on a diet of media. Try to look at how much television you're watching, how much iPhone time you're watching YouTube videos on your phone, whatever it is, and try to cut it down. And don't try to stop from one day to another, because it's very hard. It's very hard to do that. But if you can do it, then do that. Try it for 7 days or 3 days and look if something improves. And I guarantee you, you will improve. If you watch 4 hours of garbage basically every day on the television, you are not you anymore. Like Carl Gustav Jung said, people do not have ideas, ideas have people, and you become possessed by certain ideas, like I have to get this car to be cool, or I have to have this consumer product to be a good human being. That's not true. And we have to free ourselves from these bondages, these shackles that they put on us, like media, advertisements. All these things are poison for you and for your soul. You are an immortal being anyway. The body will die, but you will most likely just stand there and think, wow, someone just died there. So you will often, like in near-death experience, people don't even realize that it's their own body lying on the floor. Even after some minutes they see, wow, that guy really looks like me. So most likely you will just exit your body, and then you will either be judged, or you won't even be judged and go to a holding place until the time is over. When the time is over, everybody's going to get judged. That's what the Bible says. If you want to be Hinduistic about it, then fine. But I really can't imagine that reincarnation is true. Because if reincarnation was true, the absolute truth, everybody reincarnates, then why is there population growth? Do some souls reincarnate in 2 bodies? It doesn't make any sense. That's the problem. The longer you think about these things, and it's in the Bible. reincarnation is idolatry, and it's a very dangerous form of idolatry because it makes you basically Superman. You cannot die. You just exit your body, get another one, and then you go on from there. So it also depends on the level of what you believe in reincarnation to be, because the real Vedic scriptures only say, according to the guru that I was involved in, the Vedic scriptures view of reincarnation is totally different than from what the New Age believes. So the Vedic scriptures say that only your core personality or your base characteristics of your personality are reincarnated. It's not your soul, it's just a part of your personality, which are the most prominent parts of your personality that will be reincarnated. So that gives the thing a whole different meaning. We believe that our soul will be reincarnated and all our memories and emotions, and that we just forget about that, and through hypnosis we can learn it again. But if you look at the people who do that, like hypnosis, like Aaron Hubbard, they all believe they were in former lives Cleopatra, or some Italian prince, or some royalty, or like, I don't know, the King of Scotland. So they all have been that. That's that can't be. Like, we have had like 150 Cleopatras by now, just from one hypnotist. So there must be some deception going on there, and the hypnotists know it. They know it. They know it exactly. Either they are deceived themselves, but most of them know that it's just spirits. And I believe that you can have a spirit that is a positive spirit, but to bet on that is very, very dangerous. Getting involved with familiar spirits is very, very dangerous, because you don't know what this spirit wants to do with you, and usually they want to exploit you because they are in prison and they want to get as much juice out of you than somehow possible, and they want to make as much damage to you as somehow possible. So familiar spirits, that's not a good idea. So and if you have opened yourself up to, like, what Crowley called the HGA, the Holy Guardian Angel, if you have opened yourself up to these forces, good luck getting rid of them. Because once you open yourself up to these spiritual forces, good luck getting rid of them. There are enough testimonies of people that say the exact same thing than I do. And so, yeah, so what I wanted to say is what you could do to improve your life. If you have habitual sin in your life, what could you do? I would say the first thing is go on a media diet. If you cannot do it, then just try to reduce it a little bit and look if your behavior changes. If your thoughts get deeper, like more connected to yourself. You feel disconnected from yourself. The more you watch television, the more you become like a robot. That's the problem. And you give off your own imagination to the television. That's very dangerous. That's not good. That's not good for children especially. I would not, even Anton LaVey did not let his children watch television until they were 16 or 18 years old. Not at all. That's what Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, did to his children, that they were not allowed to watch television until they were like 18 years old, I think. Then they were allowed, but only, that's what he said, only if they have been warned beforehand of what it does to you. That's Anton LaVey's words, not my words. And he was the guy with the black cape, with the shaved head, the founder of the Church of Satan. He would not let his own children watch television. So that's what I would say. Try to go on a media diet. You will see that you will improve. It could be that it takes a long time. I don't know. It took me not a long time to realize that I can concentrate better. I can focus more. I can learn faster and so on. So go on a media diet. That's the first thing. Don't just pray. Have a prayer life, which means that prayer becomes more and more a part of your life. And it can be just like 30 seconds a day. Is that too much to ask? If you can watch television for 4 hours a day or even more, like pray every day and make it more and more a part of your life, and that will then immediately make you connected to God. That will even more change your life. And the third thing would be try to grow in knowledge, to grow in faith. Try to grow in knowledge. Try to learn as much as possible. Like we have internet, we are the most the richest generation that ever lived on the face of the earth. So use the internet to learn, not to distract yourself. Because the only thing that really can make the difference of life and death in difficult situations is how much you know and what you know. That's very important. There's nothing more urgent and important than to learn, because I don't know how long this system will stand. By logic, it should fall someday, because we are living on infinite growth, but we are living on a finite planet. And one day these two things will collide, and then everything will crumble. And the only thing that really can help you is knowledge about what's really going on. And it's a lot of stuff. So yesterday I literally wrote down the 1,000 Points of Light speech and the inaugural address of George Bush Jr. And I'm going to read the inaugural again of George Bush Jr. because it's so incredible what this guy said. And people believe he's a Christian. That's unbelievable. I mean, listen to this. We know the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm? The work continues, the story goes on, and an angel still rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm. God bless America. We know the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Why? Because there's an occult element involved. Usually the race is to the swift and the battle to the strong, because the stronger usually wins the battle. Except if you see the spiritual side behind it, and then You know that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, because you know that an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs the storm. So this is so extremely occult and so open that I don't know why people still doubt that this guy was. I mean, who people said they were Luciferians, and all of them, like back to Prescott Bush. So, anyway, thanks for listening, and God bless you all.